In this example, we show how you can programmatically fire the client-side validation rules that you define for controls. So in this very simple example over here, we have a panel navigator with 2 panel cards. And on the first panel card, we have 3 controls. And each of these controls has a validation rule defined that makes it into a required field. And then when we click on this button, go to panel 2, we like to go to panel 2, but only if none of the fields on the first panel have violated any of the rules. So let's go here over to working preview now. And now I'm going to click on this button to go to panel 2, and you'll see that I haven't yet either visited any of these controls or set their values. So when I go there, we fire all the client-side rules. We see that there are errors, and therefore we do not go to panel card number 2. But if I go and I fix the errors, and now even though I haven't tabbed out of this field now, and I click on the go to panel 2, you'll see we go now to panel 2. So let's take a look now at how this was done behind the scenes. So for each of these controls now, you can see that we've defined validation rules, and we've specified that we want to only basically do immediate validation client-side. It means that when the user tabs out of the text 1 field, there's no AJAX callback to the server to validate the data. And then when we go to this Go to Panel 2 button over here, we're going to basically create an array of the controls that we'd like to validate. So we'd like to validate text 1, text 2, and text 3. So we create an array with those 3 values. And then we have a flag here. Flag has error, which is false. And then what we do is we loop over each of the entries in the array, and we call the UX components client-side validate method, client-side validate field method, passing in the name of the control. And then this the second value, 1, needs to be set to 1 for all controls. So this would always be set to 1. There's a third optional parameter here, which is basically the instance number in the case of a repeating section. But since we don't have any repeating sections here, we can leave the third parameter unspecified. So then we call the client-side validate field method. And this method returns either a string if there is an error, or returns nothing if there's no error. So basically, if the result is a string for any one of the controls, then we know that there is an error, and so we set this flag to true. And then once we've looped through all of the controls that we want to validate, if there are still no errors, then we proceed to set focus to panel card number 2. But if there are any errors, then we won't go to panel card number 2, and focus will stay on panel card number 1, and the user will get to see all of the errors, because the individual controls on the component will have been decorated with the error message, as you can see over there. So thanks very much for watching.